Julie, welcome.
Thank you.
Some parents are so much into disciplining. You know, one person's daughter saw a cookie sitting on the coffee table and the mother is in another room. She goes to another room, Mom, can I pick up that cookie?
Right.
Then she's told, you know, stay in queue, stand in line all the time.
Right.
And she's standing in line in school, wash hands, and the other kids are coming, pushing her aside, they're going, and she's standing there.
Right.
Because she's told to stand in line.
Right.
And the girl is kind of doing the right thing. But in real world, really, these kind of disciplines don't work.
Yes, that's the whole other extreme. So we've got this sort of spoiled brat thing going on at this end, do whatever you want, and then we've got the absolute extreme, which is don't do this, don't do that, and very strict and regimented rules and expectations. And I see that a lot of times, and it's fear-based. I believe it's fear-based. And that's another thing parents say to me, but when I say that, or when I talk like that, or when I do that punishing sort of, you're going to get in trouble if you don't listen, it works. So this is what they say to me off record. And again, yes, short term it works. But long term, what are we doing? What are we doing to children when we are continuously day in and day out communicating and sort of guiding and ruling in fear? We then develop a child who is continuously ready and on the defense for fear. And so that will trickle into the rest of that child's life. So at school, on the playground, with friends, academically, even physically and in sports, we're having a child that's continuously having this struggle of anxiety and stress and sort of waiting on the edge of their seat because something might happen. I may be out of line. And so a majority of children these days growing up here are experiencing anxiety. The level of anxiety too is what's really quite concerning. Sure, we all have anxiety and that's just sort of how society is right now. But the level of anxiety in young children is quite alarming. And this is where I want to step way back and say, what is the connection with their parents looking like? So if we have a highly anxious child, then where are they getting that from? What kind of environment are they living in? And we really have to take a microscope and kind of really look in on that and that daily family life. Maybe school is okay and on the playground with friends is okay, but for most children, their parents are the number one. They look up to them, they watch them, they're observing every move. That's who they're learning from.
To discipline a child, there is a certain level of fear must be instilled. Some people believe that. Some mothers always, I have heard saying that, okay, yes, you're not stopping it, let your dad come in. I'm going to tell your dad, he's going to fix you.
Yes.
You know, no, the kid is really afraid of the dad.
Yeah.
And they don't themselves do any disciplining, but they are kind of telling them, make the dad a bad guy sometimes. Yeah. Because he's the bad guy, he's going to stop me, he's going to not let me do this thing, you know, those kind of things.
Yes.
So what is the impact on the mind of the child when this kind of disciplining or raising takes place, that okay, your dad's going to come home, I'm going to tell him, then he's going to fix you.
Right. So that to me is exactly fear-based. And so I will instill the power of fear in you so that I get the outcome that I desire, which is listen to me, stop horsing around, stop acting wild, crazy, silly. And so this is the desire of the parent. And I 100% agree with that. There are some days where we just need the kids to settle down. I get that piece of it. But to get your desire granted through fear and doing that very negative and harsh type of punishment, because that is what it is, to cause hurt, whether it be physically or emotionally. You are getting what you want, well, sometimes, maybe not for everybody, but the impact is so heavy. And remember, that child then is learning that's how you get what you want. So as they grow older, in their peers, in their classroom, even in high school and teenagers and young adults in the workforce and in university, well, I get what I want. This is what I've learned. I get what I want by ruling with fear. and causing hurt and harm to another person.
Because I was hurt and harmed.
That's the only thing I know. So a lot of people will kind of, they don't like when they hear that. And I have a lot of people come up to me and disagree. And that's fine. I honor everyone's opinion. But if we really break it down, it is quite simple. A child,
So what is the right way then?
the right
Tell
way,
me, demonstrate it.
the right way would be doing a lot of proactive measures. Okay, so when we are in the heat of the moment, it is more difficult. So I want to do 90% of the sort of work, if you will,
No,
beforehand.
no. The kid is not listening to you. Listen to the mother.
Yes.
And he having tantrum, is doing things that mother doesn't want him to do or her to.
Yes.
And then finally she says, oh, your dad's going to come home. He's
Right.
going to fix you.
Okay.
Okay, it's sad. So what is the alternative to that? What she should do then?
Okay, so not say that. Okay, I wouldn't recommend saying that at all. Once you get into that area, there's not much left except for waiting till the dad comes home. So I wouldn't even go there. I would never recommend.
What would you do?
Okay, so what I want to look at is way before we get into that heat of the moment. What is going on? Okay, is it a free play time? Is she asking him to come to lunch? Is the child aware of the expectations? These are the natural sort of everyday expectations. We wake up in the morning, we have breakfast, we play, we then clean up, we have lunch. And so this is the natural everyday kind of occurrence. Is the child first and foremost aware of that expectation? So I recommend a lot of the times a schedule. And I use a product out there called Easy Daisies, where it's a magnetic schedule, and it shows the child with pictures and words what is expected of you. And the child can take part of that. And
So lunchtime,
independent.
she's saying, okay, come on, come down, have lunch. Say,
And
no,
then-
I'm going to play.
Yeah, so back.
I'm going to roll in the snow. I'm not coming. So do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
No to nothing.
Wow, you're really painting a big picture. So what I would recommend if I was there with that parent at that time is to go and connect with the child first. If he's rolling around in the snow and you're inside and you come out saying, it's lunchtime, come on, let's go, and it's a little harsh and extreme, every child's going to be like, whatever, I'm not listening to you. So get a connection with that child first. So go play with him a little bit. Hey, what are you doing? Are you, making a snowman or whatever it is? And get on the same level, the same page as that child, and have a little rapport there of what's going on. And then from that point, give them notification. So tell them the time. Even if they're not sure of what the time is, like for a young child, let them know in 5 more minutes, the snow play time is going to end, and then we need to go inside because we talked about it's lunchtime soon. So we're giving all this pre-warning stuff, especially for young children. That's huge. Then, oh, you know what? It's been 5 minutes. It's time to go inside. So let's do a fun game, maybe walking inside or sing a song and hop back inside. Talk about how you take your boots off and your coat. And all of this is how we connect and communicate with our children. And so we are already establishing a connection at this point. Then we want to transition. So from going from outside to inside for lunch, it's very difficult for most people to transition from point A to point B. For children, it's even more challenging. So looking at it as, how am I going to bridge point A to point B? What's that going to look like? Because to demand a child to come from point A to point B, from outside in the snow to inside for lunch, it will be challenging. It just will. That's how it is. Developmentally, that's what's going on. So allowing a bridge to take place and helping that child work through their transition. And so connecting with them and then getting to that place. Now, if the child still is just maybe tired, not having a great day, maybe so hungry, and he's really giving it to that parent and giving her a hard time, to start with a validation, like I had said earlier. So it's okay to feel upset right now because you don't want to stop playing in the snow. Playing in the snow is so fun. We don't get very much snow often, so I get it. And really use your eye contact and connect and get down to their level and say, I know playing in the snow is so much fun and you don't want it to end, do you? But it's time for lunch right now. So we'll wait another 5 minutes and it's time to go in. Maybe we can come back outside after lunch and continue playing. Remember, a child really wants to have their way, especially young children. They want to be validated. They hang on to that with all their might. This is what I want in this present moment. So it's working with the child through that transition.
In your practice, do you train parents too?
Absolutely. Most of it is with, the work is with parents.
Oh, I
Yes.
see.
Yes.
So how people can reach you? The
I have a
website?
website. It's www.missbehavior.ca. On the website, there's a lot of free information too, everything from articles to tips and blogs. All my contact information is there, as well as the email address is julie@missbehavior.ca, and my phone number is 778-996-6535. And I always welcome people to call me. There's no charge for the call, because for me to be able to connect with someone in that supportive sort of feel, I want to establish the connection first. So I do what I say. And so I find that to be the key point, is to connect. And then from that point, once we have that established connection, we talk about what service is best for that parent.
So www.missbehavior.ca.
Yes.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.